You are watching my YouTube channel at nomadic_sing 8045. In this episode, you will see the celebration held at Chitagong Hill Track, Bangladesh on Buddha Purnima, Sacred Day of Birth, Enlightenment and Nirvana. Buddha Purnima, also known as Vesak or Budhajiyanti, is a sacred day that commemorates the birth, enlightenment, nirvana, and final passing, parinirvana of Gautama Buddha, making it one of the most important and auspicious days in Buddhism. The simultaneous occurrence of these three pivotal events gives the festival its profound spiritual significance as the day of enlightenment and nirvana, spiritual birth, perfection, and transformation, the threefold sacredness. The day marks three milestones: the birth of Siddhartha Gautama in Lumbini, his attainment of enlightenment under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, Nirvana, and finally, his passing into parinirvana in Kushinagar. On this full moon day of Vaishaka, Buddhists believe that Buddha achieved complete liberation from suffering and the cycle of rebirth, samsara, embodying perfect wisdom and bliss. Enlightenment and its meaning. Enlightenment, nirvana, refers to Buddha's supreme realization, freedom from all desires and suffering through the understanding of the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path. The teachings illuminate how to overcome dukkha, suffering, and reach a state of liberation through right knowledge, action, and mindfulness. Nirvana, spiritual perfection. Nirvana, on Buddha Purnima, refers to the transformation of the soul, ideal conduct, compassion, nonviolence, and detachment from worldly attachments, which Buddha embodied. Observances include fasting, meditation, acts of kindness, and study of scripture that foster self-transcendence and spiritual awakening. Rituals and legacy. Devotees participate in prayers, meditation, and offerings like kheer, flowers, and lamps, reflecting the journey from ignorance to enlightenment. The festival urges everyone to walk the path of self-realization, cultivating peace, mindfulness, and universal compassion, just as Gautama Buddha showed through his life and teachings. Buddha Purnima, therefore, stands as a beacon for seekers of truth, symbolizing the path of awakening and the potential for enlightenment within. Sky hot air balloons, often referred to as sky lanterns or fanas, play a significant spiritual and communal role during Buddha Nirvana Day, also observed as Prabarana Purnima or Buddha Purnima, in the Chittagong Hill Tracks, CHT of Bangladesh. Their release symbolizes the triumph of light over darkness, acts as an offering to the Buddha, and strengthens community unity and harmony. Spiritual symbolism. The act of releasing hot air balloons on this day is seen as a way to let go of negativity, sins, and obstacles, and to attain merit and blessings. The lanterns represent spiritual aspirations, prayers for peace, and hope for wisdom, rising toward the heavens as symbolic offerings to the Buddha. Many Buddhists believe that the glowing lanterns lighting up the sky signify the presence of Buddha's relics in heaven and express reverence for the enlightened one. Communal and cultural importance. The tradition is the highlight of the festival and mobilizes entire communities. Families, friends, and monastic groups come together to craft, decorate, and release the colored paper lanterns. The act fosters a strong sense of togetherness and unity among the region's diverse indigenous Buddhist tribes, especially in the CHT. This communal celebration reinforces local identity and preserves cultural heritage distinct to Bangladesh's Buddhist population. Role in festival observances. Hot air balloons are released in the evening as a chief attraction of Buddha Nirvana Day, bringing visual splendor to festivities that also include chanting, prayers, sermons, and offerings in monasteries. Aside from their symbolic value, the event is an occasion for gathering, collective reflection, and expressing shared values of peace and goodwill. Similar sky lantern traditions can be seen across other Buddhist communities in Asia, but the practice has especially deep roots and prominence in the CHT and Chittagong region, distinguishing local celebrations of Buddha Nirvana Day. These traditions bridge the spiritual with the festive, making the occasion visually memorable while reinforcing Buddhist teachings and communal bonds. In summary, the release of sky-hot air balloons during Buddha Nirvana Day in CHT, Bangladesh, is a powerful expression of both spiritual beliefs and communal solidarity, making it central to the festival's observance and cultural preservation. Fanas, or sky lanterns, hold deep symbolic meaning during Buddha Purnima in the Chitagong Hill Tracts, CHT, and embody core Buddhist beliefs. Their significance derives from ancient legends and spiritual themes integral to the festival. Letting go of negativity and sins. Releasing Fanas symbolizes the act of letting go of negativity and sins, aligning with Buddhist values of self-purification and spiritual renewal. This act is viewed as meritorious, helping participants gain blessings and start a new path with a pure heart. Commemoration of Buddha's story. The tradition commemorates the story of Buddha cutting his hair and tossing it skyward, which miraculously rose instead of falling, a sign of his destined enlightenment. Launching Fanas enacts this narrative, symbolizing spiritual aspiration and the fulfillment of religious purpose. The Fanas thus serves as a visual metaphor for transcending earthly attachments and seeking higher wisdom, spiritual aspiration, and unity. The rising lanterns represent prayers, reverence, and spiritual offerings to the Buddha, and express the community's hope for peace, wisdom, and good fortune. The collective activity promotes unity, harmony, and a sense of common purpose within the Buddhist community of the CHT. Victory of light over darkness. Illuminating the night sky with Fanas signifies the triumph of light over darkness. This imagery directly relates to enlightenment in Buddhist philosophy, bringing wisdom to dispel ignorance. Fanas lighting up the sky inspires self-reflection, accountability, and efforts to spread kindness, all central elements of Buddhist teachings. In summary, Fanas symbolize Buddhist beliefs during Buddha Purnima by illustrating spiritual cleansing, aspiration for enlightenment, communal harmony, and the victory of wisdom and compassion over darkness and ignorance. The tradition of Fanas, sky lanterns and the Chitagong Hill Tracts, CHT, has deep historical and cultural roots, drawing from ancient Buddhist and regional practices. Sky lanterns themselves originated in ancient China over 2,000 years ago, often credited to the Eastern Han Dynasty, and spread across Asia as symbols of spiritual offerings and celebration. Buddhist and regional foundations. In the CHT, where Buddhism has been dominant since at least the 9th century CE, the use of lanterns was adopted as part of communal rituals that blended indigenous, Arakanese, and broader Buddhist influences. The release of Fanas became popular through connections with nearby Myanmar, Arakan, and influence from other Southeast Asian Buddhist communities, who used lanterns as offerings to the Buddha and as symbolic acts of merit-making and prayer. Integration into Buddha Purnima. Historical records suggest that Fanas became embedded in CHT Buddhist culture during local observances of Buddha Purnima, a major festival marking Buddha's return after meditation, where letting go of negativity is key. The tradition draws on stories of the Buddha, such as the legend where Buddha's hair ascends into the sky, which parallels the lantern's upward journey. Community and cultural adaptation. The indigenous Chakma, Marma, and other hill peoples adapted the lantern tradition, making it central to festivals as a way to bind communities and visually express core Buddhist values of enlightenment, merit, and collective harmony. Over time, lighting and releasing Fanas became a distinct cultural marker of Buddhist identity and resilience in the CHT, differentiating the region's festivals from those elsewhere in Bangladesh and South Asia. In summary, the Fanas tradition in the CHT is a syncretic practice with origins in ancient Buddhist lantern rituals of East Asia, adapted and localized by the hill peoples of Bangladesh through their unique history, sacred narratives, and need for community cohesion.